Hi guys, welcome back to SwitchUp. I'm Mark Walker and we're going to look at the upcoming games for next week. Well, actually we're going to look at 10 upcoming games for next week because I put far too many in last week and Glen almost died making the video. Oops. What's on offer? Let's find out. First up then, we've got Please the Gods from Ultimate Games. You'll be journeying to the land of the gods in this atmospheric, turn-based indie RPG. Much of it is based around Finnish mythology and will require you to survive out in the wilderness. The story goes that your family is starving and only a miracle can save you, so you set out on a journey to the land of the gods to find the legendary Sampo, a treasure of endless riches and nourishment. I wonder if you'll find Floki as well on your journey. It's obviously an old school inspired game that's based around traditional dice-based combat. There's a full flexible skill tree here, and you can use hunting, survival, lore, and, well, a companion dog to do just that. It's full of mythical creatures and monsters. Looks semi-decent this one, and it's reasonably priced. It comes out on the 3rd. If you're familiar with the Netflix series, then you'll know what the Dark Crystal series is all about. The Dark Crystal Age of Resistance Tactics looks like a turn-based tactical game set in that interesting world. You lead a party of resistance gelfling against the oppressor overlords, the Skeskis. I think that's what they're called, across more than 50 turn-based tactical battles. There are 14 different playable characters, and I believe, based on what I saw online, that there's a real deep job system here, which sounds really cool. This could certainly appeal to, well, anyone that's a strategy fan, but particularly games like the Disgaea series, those who enjoy the Banner Saga combat, and even Mercenaries tactics to some degree. One to keep your eye out for when it drops on the 4th.
Strong and brave. Strength and bravery alone will not save Thra. No! Unlock your true potential. Unite as one! Only together can you defeat what is to come. Heroes of Thra.
Next up, we have Monster Energy SuperCross. It's the official game, and it's based on the 2019 SuperCross season. There are 100 riders, split over the 450SX and the 250SX categories, 15 official stadiums and tracks, and it says for the first time ever you'll be able to join the official teams in career mode. What's nice to see is that they've included a co-op experience here as well as a track creator. I love it when they do that in games, really adds to the replayability. And it's nice to see as well that you can race as a female rider to become the next Supercross champion. What I will say about this one is it's very expensive, £53.99, and that drops on the 4th. Next up then, we have 7th Sector from Sometimes You. Now, we do like these guys because, as we always say, they seem to choose a completely different genre every time they publish a game. But this one I've been playing a lot of. It's brilliant. Like, no quirks. Like, this is a really good game. Super interesting and very well designed. It's set in a strange cyberpunk world whereby you begin your story by escaping from a television set, and you control almost like an electrical signal that's got an artificial intelligence to it. It's such a clever game. There's lots of nice little design elements to it, but I love the art style as well. This one drops on the 5th, and, well, although this isn't a review, I'd add this one to your list. I think you could safely enjoy this one. Next one then is Arc of Alchemists, which is due to drop on the 6th from Idea Factory. So this is the Western release, and they've added quite a bit of polish to it. You can now choose from 7 playable characters, each of whom specialise in unique weapon attacks and abilities. You'll be combining different elemental orbs to augment your abilities and also help you solve puzzles. There's an environmental manipulation element to it, as it says on the Eshop, but what hooks me in terms of interest is that you can construct your own base to allow you to do the conquering, customize your troop formations, purchase gear, and build facilities to strengthen attacks. And this has actually intrigued me. Now we've got a review code for this, so hopefully we can bash one out in time for launch day. Now, if there's one thing I know about Glen so far in the time I've seen him review games, it's that he does enjoy a good visual novel. The next title is Code Realize Guardian of Rebirth. It's £35, which is a touch expensive. It drops on the 6th, but it sounds like it's got an interesting story. You venture into a reimagined steampunk version of the 19th century London, and it particularly focuses on someone called Cardia, and there's a mysterious organisation trying to capture her. What's nice to see is that they've filled this one with literary and historical figures, including Frankenstein and Abraham Van Helsing. For fans of this style of game, this actually looks really well made. I'm going to throw this next one in literally just for Glen, and it's called 0000 from Ratalaika Games. And it is a 1-bit lo-fi platformer that's set to challenge players in a plethora of levels. I think there's about 100 to be precise. There's a race mode where players can go head to head against a friend to see who's a true master. Lo-fi graphics, obviously, and a really nice soundtrack that's produced by Levi Bond. Don't know who that is. Never heard of him. It's little games like this that are cheap and can sometimes be hugely addictive. So, well, let's stick it in the list. This drops on the 7th. Probably the most exciting game coming next week from Square Enix Europe is the Turing Test, which was originally released back on Steam. Now this looks really nice. It's a first-person puzzler that explores the phenomena of consciousness and challenges the meaning of human intuition. Well, I'm basically screwed then, aren't I, Glen? I think you're going to have to do this one. It's set on Jupiter's moon, Europa, and you play as Ava Turing, an engineer for the International Space Agency, sent to discover the cause behind the disappearance of the ground crew stationed there. Despite being a puzzler, there's a deep story here for you to solve, and you can switch through multiple perspectives to solve the different puzzles. It's launching at $15.99, which seems really reasonable. We'll make sure we get you a review of this one out before launch. Onto something that I'm a little more comfortable with then, it's ELEA Paradigm Shift. Now it's an interactive adventure where the main focus is humanity's place in the universe, the nature of intelligence and the meaning of faith. Now I'm a big fan of adventure titles and I just love the way that a story can be crafted through the medium of a computer game. I must admit I am more drawn towards a 3D experience and I do like the art style of this one, and I believe it uses the Unreal 4 engine. The main storyline is based around that of one woman whose life is marked by loss, grief and self-accusation in the aftermath of a global pandemic. Now thankfully an Earth-like exoplanet within an achievable distance from the solar system's been discovered, and well, that's where your adventure begins. This actually sounds a whole lot of fun and well up my alley. This drops on the 7th.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Eqqo, or EQQO, depending on how you want to say it, and I believe this is also reasonably priced. It describes itself as a story about the heartening tale of a mother a blind child and an egg, voiced and captioned in many different languages. There's a multi-layered story full of symbols and metaphors about hope, love, nature, and everything that connects us. It's only around 4 to 5 hours long, and there's a lot of puzzle solving, as well as 25 hidden items to find. The music was composed by Nicholas Bredin and played by the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra, which is pretty darn awesome. It's one of those games that walks the fine line between a piece of art and a game, and that can be done really well. This one drops on the 7th.
Was the one about the serpent god that came down from the sky to lay a sacred egg in the heart of an ageless tree, the mother tree.
So there we have it for this week coming up. There are some interesting titles there. I'm really enjoying that we're seeing some big names drop in some games, like the recent Witcher Thronebreaker title that I reviewed that just dropped out of nowhere, and now Square Enix with the Turing Test. We'll hope to bring you the best reviews from all of the titles you've just heard, but let us know down in the comments if there are any there that you're particularly keeping your eye on. A big thanks to our patrons who support us each and every month. If you want to join them, all the links will be down below. And as always, for all things Switch, all the time, keep it Switch up. Cheers guys, see ya!